All right, we are live.
Welcome back to our GURPS Hammer campaign. I am Rigil, your GM for this ride. This campaign will be utilizing the GURPS rule set, but is set in the Empire of Man, found in the Warhammer Fantasy role-playing setting. In addition to our live streams on Twitch, this and all future sessions will be available on YouTube and as an audio-only podcast. Links will be found in the descriptions. Before we begin, are there any questions for me from the players? Let's start with left, Christoph. That is FX.
Apparently he is AFK. Or muted.
Or he's having comm problems.
You guys hear me now?
Yes.
There he is.
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that.
Right. Do you have any questions for me before we start?
Oh shoot. Questions. I don't have questions, but I did make a few changes on my character.
Okay.
Like nothing like super major, but I tweaked some of the skills around. Basically I took the axe and took it down to like a 1 point and put more points in bow.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We're still in the. Go ahead.
He's still like a trap. Yeah, I'm on the my headset died on me. I didn't get a chance to charge it, so I'm on talking on my computer. But I took out some skills like panhandling and seamanship. I didn't feel like were good for his, but he's still kind of like a tracker, ranger sort of person. And then he's got a couple spells. Edge wizard.
Okay. Yeah. None of that's going to be a big problem because we're still in the three session thing.
The only other change that I might need help with is if I took the strong back perk like Gigerman suggested, then I'd want to change out the bow that I have if possible. Just to, it's a little bit of optimization, but get a bow.
No, you didn't have it. You have to pick up another bow some other time.
Okay, then that's about it then.
Wow, that hot miking is going to be irritating. All right, Nosh, you are doing Infest. Do you have any questions for me?
My only question is, when will my points begin to renew? Will it be at noon the following day, as per the notes?
Let's see. Yeah, I think that's probably. Did I not? Let me double check.
I think that's what it says.
Yeah, I think that's right. It's going to be different according to the various things. No, that's really helpful.
Okay, but I can use fatigue to cast spells if I want to as well.
Yes. Right, yeah, that's at the cost of 4 fatigue per spell energy that doesn't add to tally.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm certain nothing bad will happen.
Yeah, no, other than that...
Besides, we all want to see what happens with the calamity table.
Exactly. All right, well, that's all I've got for that. On to Hork.
All right, Giger playing Jorg.
That's Jorg.
Actually,
okay, my bad.
I'm wondering.
I thought that was Borg.
Actually, what does that sound like with the umlaut in there?
O's are an oo sound. Sorry,
no.
But it has an umlaut
sound.
No, it's the way it's described is you make an A sound, but your mouth forms an O, so it comes out yerk.
Yeah, it's sound. Like Soren. Well, Soren is Soren.
At any rate, no,
All
I
right.
don't have any questions.
But we'll call you Sharon.
I'm good with Sharon.
All right, Mel has got anything for me with Copper Tongue?
Actually, no. I think I'm good.
Cool. All right, Ronki. And what about Soren?
He
Roth.
spent his point from last week on increasing traps. That's it. Nothing else.
All right, cool. And I believe I also need a secret roll in the box from Soren.
And from me.
No, yours is per adventure.
Oh.
All right, cool. All right, so today I got that, and yay. All right, so the where we were last week was at the. Do I still have my cave map? Do have my cave map. Don't really need it though. You're in the Direwolf Cave because you managed to escape into here before a terrible storm blew in. After probably blanketing all those poor dead people out there, and so nobody will ever be able to find them again. And after you killed two of the two direwolves and chased the third one away, everybody retreated deeper, and you found a frozen over door. And after some work, I don't know what you mean, FX. Where do you find them to add this spell sheet? You should be able to just go to character abilities and find this, and if the spell exists in there, because I don't think all of them do. Actually, is it showing any of that stuff? Is there anything showing in character abilities? Because I'm not positive if I saved or shared it.
Well, I have 4 spells, and I need to add a couple spells to my sheet. And I know for abilities, I can drag like skills and stuff like that, or traits or advantages. I don't know where the spells are at.
Yeah, it's going to be under abilities. It should be under abilities.
Oh,
Are the spells actually in the module?
There are a lot of spells. I'm seeing them, but I'm not positive if I shared that.
It should be GURPS traits and abilities as a module to activate.
So GURPS modules, and then I have traits and abilities. And I'm looking up a spell, for example, Hush. Not coming up.
Yeah. So
it is possible that
I did not put all the spells from magic. It's just the spells from basic.
Okay. Not a problem for now.
So in that case, you probably just give me a list of the ones you're doing, and I can add them after the fact.
Sounds good.
For enemies,
Sounds like you have a job to do, Nosh.
I think so. I probably was working on that, so it may not be as big a job as I think. Under enemies, it says roll at the beginning of each adventure or at the start of each session of a continuing adventure.
I don't like that. That's dumb. Because it's like if you're smack dab in the middle of an adventure, and it's like, say you're in this particular case, if you're like in the bottom of a dungeon, and it's like, I'm gonna roll for my enemy who happens to show up. That doesn't work for me. So I'm just doing it at the beginning of adventures.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I put that in on the board, not the boards, the Discord somewhere. I don't remember where, but it's like most of them are per adventure, which is allies, dependents, and enemies, and then secrets are per session.
We should put things like that on the board so they're a bit more permanent.
I guess you could still roll, and that gives you a an enemy in lieu. So
No,
if
I'm
it's
not
not
going to do
appropriate
that.
to turn up that time, you can turn up any time after.
Well, if you modify the rule, you modify the rule.
Right. At any rate, we discovered a frozen over door. We managed to defrost it and open it up, and it opens into basically a long ramp that is a spiral ramp that is descending deeper into, well, darkness. I realized that probably half of the party was thinking about, yep, we need to go now. We need to go now. And the other half was like, why don't we rest? And it did occur to me that I think Giger made the comment that it has been a very, very eventful day for the lot of you. You just survived a very large, skirmish battle, massacre thing, and then you had promptly turned around and got into another fight with some dire wolves. So that adrenaline is going to eventually just sort of wear off, and you're going to like probably go, yeah, let's take a breather. Further, you had to assemble some rudimentary torches because nobody had any. So the urgency to investigate that thing right this very instant probably faded a bit after you sat down and started working on that. So after a bit of time, you will probably end up crashing, falling asleep. Some of you will drop off immediately. Others will linger, but eventually everybody's going to probably doze off. And at this point, you have all woken back up. It is definitely the next day. If you have expended any fatigue points, it doesn't look like anybody has. So I guess don't need to have you recover those. So you have woken up. You're cold. You're stiff. You're hungry. Luckily, there's still a lot of wolf meat left. As far as you can tell, nobody turned into a wolf. And that open door. Yep. Oh, go ahead.
Do we regain any hit points during the sleep?
Let's see. I don't think so. I know there's the natural healing, but I believe you have to like do that all day.
Yeah, I think you need a full 24 hours for that.
Okay.
Let me check. Natural recovery. At the end of each day of rest and decent food, you make the health roll. Wow, I managed to find that quickly. How about that? Yeah, you're fine. You're only down 6 hit points. I mean, I'm certain that won't come back to, well, bite you.
Oh, it will totally come back to bite me, but it's okay.
Yep. So after having some more wolf meat, possibly, unless Soren is strongly resisting, in which case that means you're going to have gone quite a bit of time without eating, because I think you were the only one that hadn't that was not enthusiastic about eating them.
No, hunger got the better of him.
All right. So after that, you you have managed to, well, sort of fill your bellies. Luckily, there's a lot of snow outside, so you can use that and get, drinkage. And you have an open door.
Are we currently on a map?
No. I was like, thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, you don't need a map. So you will begin descent, it looks like. Let's see, how many torches did we I think we established that we had created a handful of torches, but I don't remember how many. Those generally last an hour or so.
Did you
Is
say
that
what the
right?
weather was?
It's really cold. There's that storm that was raging. Why?
I just remembered that there was a storm and it probably isn't still going.
Well, we are still sort of in winter and in the mountains. So the storm may have sort of blown over, but now it's just like got that steady fall of snow out there.
Well, the storm is the reason we came into this cave.
But now you have a door and a ramp down. It sounds like several of the PCs are like, let's go see what's down there. There might be treasure. Oh yeah, I did remember to share Drory's picture, right?
Yeah.
Which he turned off. What's up with that? Oh right, yeah, because he is convinced this is a specific mine that the one of the lost dwarfs in this or dwarf clans in this area once had, and is very eager to hopefully find lots of treasure, because you're going to find out he's not much of a warrior, and he has admitted that his greed got the better of him, and that's the only reason he was on this stupid expedition to begin with. Right. So I'm going to operate on the presumption that you have, let's see, a total of 5 torches, including the 2 that Christoph has made. Those are using like orc femurs and tibulas and all that jazz, which I'm certain just thrills Soren.
And we didn't see any of the, because I know there were like runes, like road signs basically kind of around. We didn't see anything that indicated like where it was leading to. It was just stuff like this way and
Correct.
okay. And I'm guessing Queen wouldn't really have any knowledge about what actually would be here.
So what, based off of what Jory was stating, she probably will recognize the name of the what he's talking about. There's like it was like an outpost. It was like Davin Kar was the mining outpost, and it was, well, lost a couple centuries ago. So he's excited about maybe finding that. He's almost convinced that thing that's what this ramp goes to.
Can Christoph roll for tracking to see if he notices any tracks or new in this place?
He can. I'm not sure how well that's going to be, because this is on stone.
You find human track leading up to your bedroll.
Well, he is a tracker, so he's gonna at least give it a
Yeah.
shot. Although And I guess the modifier is by how old they are.
Yeah, it's
or
easier to
group.
track humans as well, I seem to recall.
Yeah, it's following a group. Yeah, because you've got the -5 if the trail is more than a day old, or -10 if more than a week old. So is that the cap? I guess that's the cap. So it's going to be straight away -10 because it's going to be any tracks are going to be a lot more than a week old. +3 if you're following a man. I guess that'd be man, elf, dwarf, or +6 if you were following a group. So let's see. So that's going to be -4. Oh, it's going to be back to -10 because it's going to be considered urban in this particular case. So yeah, he's not necessarily going to find any tracks in here. There's a lot of dust on the on the ramp, but it doesn't look like it has been seen much use.
Yeah, he rolled pretty bad anyways. 15, failed by 2 with no modifier. So he's like, man, guys, I'm sorry, I cannot find anything. Curses under his breath.
All right, so you begin descending down the ramp. You have probably a couple of the torches out. As noted, this was clearly wide enough for like a cart to come out, or to go in, go out, whatever. So it's a fairly wide ramp. It's spiraling down. And as you are descending, you will definitely see that there are places where chunks of it have broken away from either damage or age, or just, well, probably age. The ramp does sort of creak ominously in those locations. It's not difficult to circle. I mean, it's not like there's a whole section where you have to jump or anything. It's just like, hey, it looks like something broke the stuff off on the side.
Oh, this is raised. This is not the floor.
This is not the floor. No, it's going down for quite a ways.
Right, but yeah, I thought it was just a tunnel going down.
No, it's basically a ramp itself, not a tunnel.
So
Sorry.
what's around the ramp?
Not much.
I
Darkness.
mean, is it an open cavern and there just happens to be that ramp right there?
Sort of. There are places where it does look like it once had, where it was almost like a tunnel, but it's like no longer the case. So you can see in distances in certain places. The darkness never actually will go all the way down to complete darkness, because as you are descending in, because of those gaps where you can sort of see in the area, you will be able to see that the ceiling is outside of the tunnel area. It looks like he has these really big crystals that are just like very lightly glowing, bioluminescent sort of thing. So the darkness is generally going to be hovering around -5, which for people who don't have night vision really sucks, but it's perfectly fine for the dwarfs. It is also continuing to get bitterly cold as you are descending, and when you reach the bottom, because it does go down quite a ways. Once you get down to the bottom, it looks like it ends in an area that is basically almost solid ice. It honestly looks like maybe water had come in this area for some reason, like it had flooded the complex or whatnot, but now it's like completely frozen.
Dwarves are totally into ice hockey.
You know it.
Yeah, that would be they'd be pretty good at it, I would think.
Dwarves are Canadian.
I always knew that.
So they run around and say sorry.
No, they're supposed to end every sentence with A.
So they only say sorry after they've fouled someone. As noted, the ramp itself seems to disappear into this, water, ice, frozen, whatever, and you will note that the creaks that you had heard are still present. In fact, they're kind of ominous. Hopefully, that ramp doesn't completely collapse, because that'd suck, wouldn't it?
It'll be fine.
Just as a SOP, Cern will be passively checking for traps. So he'll be aware, but he's not going to be actively looking.
Right. Okay.
So he won't be spending that time, but he will be aware that there could be traps. So he'll, as we're walking, he'll be passively looking. So I'll just roll the traps. You can use that if it ever comes up.
I'm going to have everybody give me a vision check. This is going to be modified by the -5 darkness penalties. So I believe Copper Tongue has night vision 5, so she would just make a straight up vision-based perception. Everybody else, I don't remember if anybody else has night vision.
Do it in the box.
Sure.
You said -5?
Yep. Modified by any night vision you may have.
Oops. It's probably still a failure.
Let's see. Do I have everybody?
No, I haven't rolled yet because I want to cast a spell. I was looking that up.
Okay. Remember, that would potentially trigger the secret, because you desperately do not want to cast spells around anybody.
Right. He might make up some excuse about he has to step away for a moment, or he could just
What are you
hold
thinking
back.
of casting?
He's gonna cast. He wants to cast Mage Light.
Enfys will automatically be able to see that.
Yes. Anybody that has Magery.
Yeah. So. Okay.
It takes a few quiet words and small gestures is for my skill level. So he'll at some point try to take an opportunity to kind of stand back away from the group where they don't hear him. He'll cast Mage Light. Is that okay or no?
Well, it's up to you. I mean,
The only thing is it's not on my. I guess I can add it. Just skill of 12.
And what would you like us to throw in the box if you want to see if we notice this, or if I notice this in particular?
You will automatically notice it. It'll be just because of its mage light creates a small light. However, the illumination that it provides is only perceptible to mages, magical creatures, and those under the influence of mage sight. So it's treated exactly like, regular light, but only for mages and such like that.
Understood.
Yeah, so he's taking a chance, of course, with Enfys. But
Okay.
he doesn't want anybody to see him cast it for sure. But he knows that Enfys will see it.
I suppose it just depends on where you're at in the pseudo marching order. I mean, if you're pulling up the rear, you're the bow guy, so it would possibly make sense to be pulling up the rear.
All he has to do is go take a piss.
Pisses off the side of the giant ramp.
Onto the sleeping demon way below.
Okay, so you'll need to make a note of your current tally. I believe Enfys or Nosh put that as a resource. Is that correct?
Yes,
Power
I sure
tally.
did.
What did you call it? Like
We call
Just
it
power
power
tally.
tally.
power tally. Right. Okay. So yeah, 1 to cast, and then I think it's 1 to maintain.
Let's see. Cost 1 for a dim
Oh,
glow
2.
like candlelight. 2 for the brightness of a torch. 3 for a glare as bright as day.
We'll go
Same
for the
cost to
torch.
maintain.
So 2 and 2 per minute. Right.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to potentially adjust what Enfys is. That's a hard thing to say. Enfys apostrophe lighting. Let's see, torch. I think I got into an argument with Giger over this. Believe we determined that ends up being a -1 penalty, right? Yeah. So, nope. Enfys still. Well, wait. He rolled in the tower. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Enfys still failed. Probably because you were suddenly distracted by the fact that there is now some sort of weird shimmering light behind you. Maybe like hovering over Kristoff or on his finger or something like that. So in that case, Kristoff can make the perception test at -1 instead of -5.
Okay. You said in the box?
Yes, please.
All right. Let's see. Main perception.
Actually, just thinking that through, everybody should have had some torches. So, way to screw everything up, Phil. Okay.
So Kristoff says, like, guys, I gotta go take a piss. And he like scares off, casts a spell, and he's got a magical light that only mages can see floating above his head. It moves, and then when he comes back, I suppose Enfys would be the only one that notices, unless anybody else has magery.
Yep. Nope, no one else has it. That is going to last you 1 minute,
Yep.
unless you decide to continue maintaining it. So
For
it's
now,
like,
he's gonna maintain it for maybe like 10, 15 minutes.
okay,
minutes.
so 10 minutes. Whew, that's going to be expensive, isn't it?
And
I guess
Enfys,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
That's going to
yeah,
be
Enfys, Enfys isn't going to pretend to notice anything.
So if you are maintaining that for 10 minutes, that is going to put your tally at 20, I believe. Because its duration is a minute. And if you're expending 2, well, that's 20.
How long are we down here for?
I don't know. You don't know how big this is.
Complications.
Hmm.
It'll be fine. So I will be interested to see how Enfys does react at a later date.
Can I go back a little bit and just can I make it the candlelight versus the torch for the 1 point?
All right.
That just
So that'd be tally at 10 instead of 2 for 10 minutes. In which
yeah, but
case,
I suppose tell me if we're here like an hour, let me know. I don't have a sense of time right now. The character does it.
Yep. Well, you're at the bottom of the ramp, and as oh right, let's see. So who made the checks? So it's going to be Christoph and Soren and Coppertong. Will note that the ramp ended in what looks like it was once a fairly large room, but or chamber of some sort, but it is got lots and lots of destruction, like stuff has fallen from the ceiling. There is water in the as noted in the area. Most of it's frozen over. There were several entrances, exits, whatever, but all of them save one seem to be relatively blocked off from or by damage. From the ceiling.
So does it
And
look like a cave in, or does it look like someone's actually blown up tunnels?
it looks more like cave-in. I know there are multiple people who have Survival Mountain. I'm not going to ask for a check, but those of you who do have that skill are going to sort of get the feeling. It almost looks like maybe this is the aftermath of like a big earthquake or something.
And the only exit, or the other exits that are blocked, they would take a bit of effort to clear, I'm assuming.
Correct.
All right, well, Cern, being impulsive and stuff, he says, we've only got one way to go. Let's go down this one.
All right.
Yeah. Enfys will follow Soren.
Okay.
And I think Christoph will be like, yeah, I think there could be a trap there, but probably not. But I think we're okay. And he kind of follows off after them as well.
All right. I need everyone to give me a hearing-based perception check. This will be a +4. In the box, please.
Sorry, did you say 4?
Plus
Plus
4,
4?
yes. In the box, yep. No one's surprised. That was like, oh wow, Copper Tongue has a cute hearing, huh? So, needless to say, the area that you're in, sounds are echoing weirdly, except for the dwarfs who are like, hey, this is how sounds are supposed to work. But the lot of you, particularly Christoph and Soren, are going to almost, it's like you can almost make out what frankly sort of sounds like fighting in the far, far distance. Or maybe it's not the far distance. Maybe it's right around the corner and sound is bouncing oddly. Oops, sorry. That was Enfys, Christoph, and Soren. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and those three also are simply because you've heard it relatively recently. You're almost convinced that one of the that some of those sounds are almost orcish. And just as you are sort of kind of taking that in, Christoph will also hear like some strange booming, not drums, like it's more like something really, really large and heavy is walking.
Christoph will like raise his hand. Well, I guess he's maybe towards the back, but he's like, guys, I hear something. Do you hear that?
You mean the ominous approach of something big?
The route that you are following does sort of open up into a fairly large corridor. It looks like it was wide enough for carts to go either way, and you have the various dwarf construction and such like that. You got little sort of statues that are off to one side and such like that. And Drory is super, super excited about all of this stuff, and he's like, "This, yes, I'm convinced that's what this place is going to be. Make a fortune. It'll be awesome." And as you progress forward, to your left, there is a really large archway that that opens up into an even larger room. On the very far end of this particular room, you can just make out what almost looks like a massive statue of some sort. That to the dwarfs, it's probably intended to represent the ancestor god that this facility was devoted to. And there, just before the statue's face, is what looks like the remains of a fairly elaborate and really large anvil. So on the image that I just shared, you can kind of make out there's a person right there that can kind of give you an idea of the general size of this particular room.
Right. Copper Tongue, if she spots the anvil, all thoughts of everything else goes out of her head. She's heading for the anvil.
And Drory is like 2 steps behind you.
Well, let's watch what unfolds. But I'm going to just hang back a little bit.
Christoph will follow stealth a -5 for full movement. Is that right? And to be stealthy,
Yes.
though?
That's how I remember it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the lighting
Go ahead.
here is still -5.
Yep. It's very clear that when they constructed this place, they are taking or utilizing whatever the heck it is that's up there in the fairly high ceiling that is emitting these soft glows.
How close can we probably guess the orcs are?
Oh man, yeah. You're based off of your roll, it sounded pretty darn distant to you.
Okay, well, Søren's not in any huge hurry to get over there, but he'll mosey on over. But he's paying more attention to the approaching threat.
Right.
He wants to have enough time to light a torch in the event something bad happens.
You got plenty of time to light a torch. You could light one right now.
Yeah, but then it also makes us a beacon in the dark.
All right. So assuming nothing happens and Queen gets over to the anvil, she did fail her greed roll. So if she's gonna kind of glance back and she'll see that Stonebeard is like right tailing her. She's gonna like hand on her axe, give him a glare and say, "Back off. I found it first."
Hold on, let me do something here. Plenty for both of us. He's glowering at you as well.
I mean
But-
it. Back off.
So now we know what why Enfys is like. Oh, I bet this is going to break into a fight. Wonder what's going to happen here. Apparently, she's going to whack the NPC. Oh yeah, that's something else I need to remember. I need Enfys, and I guess it would be Crystal. Actually, no. Hold on. Why don't I do it this way? Because do I have one of those for him? I do not. So to both Christoph and Enfys, there is a strange, a lingering foulness in the air that you sort of notice. That none of the other characters really seem to fully recognize it, which strongly implies this is, some sort of magic involved. I do not think that Christoph has thaumatology, but I do believe that Enfys does.
Yes.
In which case, can you give me a thaumatology check, please?
In the box or openly?
This can be open. It's fine. All right, shiny. So you consider the odd smell, I guess you would call it, but it's not really a actual olfactory smell, but it's more of some sort of magical sense. And you realize that based off of what you are sensing, that someone relatively recently seems to have called upon chaos here and wrought some black magic, because you're fairly certain you're sensing Dar, the wind of chaos.
Now, if someone has done this very thing, what exactly are the implications in the immediate moments?
Nothing in the immediate moment, but it's just because based off of the role and such like that, you're going to say that probably maybe a couple days ago, maybe a week ago.
Okay. If Soren is standing nearby, I will just mutter to him, someone's been here recently and they've been up to no good.
How do you know that?
I've got a bad feeling.
Did you guys see that link that Giger posted where he's
Yeah.
talking about the resemblance a little troubling? I totally didn't think of that. I just saw this particular image and I really wanted to use it. Okay, so Copper Tongue and Drory are sort of giving each other the hairy eyeball. Drory is definitely aware that he's not a warrior, so him stepping in and trying to fight with Copper Tongue is probably a bad idea. So he's just gonna raise his hands like, yeah, you're fine. Before looking around at the fragments, and he's just going to ask in Kozilid, the dwarf language, to her. He's like, what could possibly have caused an anvil to explode like this?
I'm assuming that she wouldn't know off the top of her head, other than
I
it
guess
would
you
have
could-
to be something pretty massive because these things are built to last.
Yeah. You could give me a rune lore check, I suppose.
Wow,
Look at
success by
that.
5.
So you poke around, or you look around at the stuff, and based off of as you're looking and you're sort of thinking about it, the only thing that can really come to mind is that something was, or someone used the anvil that was here to forge something that went diametrically opposed to what the anvil was dedicated to, because those the anvils of doom, they are generally dedicated to one of 3 of the ancestor gods, and based off of their dedication, that also influences what they are crafted. So you have those that are dedicated to Grimnir, which are generally weapons, and because he is, so those weapons are like focused on fury and such like that. You have those that are to Grugni, which are generally focused on effort, and then those that are dedicated to Valaya, which are generally focused on loyalty. So it's like that sort of thing. Although based entirely off of the statue, you're not sure who this was dedicated to. It doesn't track with either of the 3.
Oh, okay. So she's going to take some time and sit down and start sifting through pieces to see if she can find any actual like writing to give her some kind of idea of who this anvil belonged to, like which deity.
What is that noise? Oh, FX, sure. Hot micing again. Microwave. Yeah, so it's not immediately apparent in this particular case, and based off of what you're looking at, the anvil itself, there's no way that it can be remotely repaired. Although you suspect you could probably take a bunch of the chunks and maybe create your own your personal anvil.
Yeah, she'll try to salvage what she can.
So you'll need to take probably about because most of the anvils are about 100 pounds. So you'll need to be probably take about 115 pounds of it.
Oof, she's gonna be
It'll be
slow.
fine.
Well, she's a dwarf, so
Yeah, she's already slow. She'll just be slower. All right, so she'll grab that and be moving at a crawl until we get out of here.
Okay, so what is Soren doing while she begins gathering chunks of this well, it looks like an exploded anvil?
Well, he's kind of on alert because he can hear the sound of orcs and stuff, but his curiosity has him sort of just looking around. He's being a tourist at the moment.
Right. Well, the regarding the sounds, they come and go, so they don't all. So it's like you'll have really long moments of well, the only thing you hear is, you guys, and then maybe you might hear something in the distance, and then it'll stop and such like that. So it's not like constant, always fighting.
Okay. Can he tell which direction it's from, or is it just echoing everywhere?
That I have to, dang it, now I have to remember to open that thing that Giger pointed me to, which I'm like, oh yeah, I do have this book that I never ever use, Underground Adventures. Let's see. Let's see. Does it give you? I know I'm looking at the perception thing, so that's where I got the +4, because it's like, oh yeah, it travels really weird. I'm not sure about. Stone surface reflected efficiently. So hearing rolls to locate the source of a sound or to perceive and analyze its details are -2. So I guess you could give me, based off of that, that would be at a hearing no, hearing -2, perception -2, hearing based, if I'm reading that correctly.
So no, he does not. So he's just being cautious every now and then. When the noise stops, he becomes more cautious. When the noise starts again, he'll just become, continue on. He's just checking to make sure nothing surprises her.
Right. Jorg, what apart from making the sign of the hammer and telling everybody not to stay here long, is there anything else that he is doing in this particular area?
no, not here. This place is a bit uncomfortable.
Why is it uncomfortable?
People have said chaosy things have happened here.
That's okay. How about Enfys? Or is there anything that he is planning on doing?
I'm just going to keep my eyes open for anything that'll come out from the range of the torchlight.
Okay. And Christoph, I noticed that Christoph's curious. He failed to contain his curious.
Yeah. I think the two doors were approaching the altar. Was that correct?
Yeah, they're over there by the chunks of the anvil.
No, sorry.
They
So
were like chattering away in dwarvish.
so he was following them, right? Kind of keeping to the shadows and whatnot.
Okay.
But so what he's gonna do is, I think his curiosity got the better of him, and he's gonna come out. But he's got one of his quirks is about traps. So he's just like, and then he had the feeling of the magic, right? You said he sensed, or he sensed something. He's like, I don't know. I
Yes.
think he's kind of like talking to himself a little bit, but also to the door. He's like, I think we should check for traps, because if I was a devious trap person, I would put a trap here, kind of a, talking like that. And then he's going to search for traps
Okay.
around the anvil area. Maybe it would be a magical trap. He's not sure.
All right. So you can make a check for that. That would be in the box.
You seem to know an awful lot about what a devious person would do.
That's not suspicious at all.
All right. So Christoph rolls traps in the box.
So noted. You will not locate any traps. Doesn't mean they're not there. You just don't find any.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. That's his turn, basically.
Okay. It'll take a bit of time for Copper Tongue to basically secure enough of the stuffs. And, Jory does look at you. It's like, okay, take some with you, I see. And unless she stops him, he's also going to try to take probably roughly the same amount.
Since CERN's with Enfys just sort of hanging about, he's going to say, do you have any idea what that's about? It's just a broken anvil. What's the interest? Is it valuable?
I have no idea. I don't think I've got anything that would tell me anything about that.
Maybe it's a dwarf thing. Maybe we should be collecting some. It could be money.
That's a great idea. We should all carry heavy rocks in our sack.
Do I have any way of knowing anything about this at all?
I am double checking to see if I could. I don't remember if the anvils of doom are really well known.
Well, it sounds like a perfectly reasonable thing to exist.
Damn, I wish I had noticed this image before the frickin' game. Ain't that always the case?
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
So if Stonebeard tries to start collecting pieces before Copper Tongue has all she needs, she will stop him. But as soon as she is done, she'll give him a head jerk. Say, all right, go for it.
I am in the process of copying something really quick. Give me just a second. All right. Well, the dwarfs are definitely going to be kind of slow today because of that. I think you guys are both operating around 2 now.
Yep.
Well, it's probably pretty good, all things considered.
All right. So where is my thing? I need to. Yeah.
Until you have to swim.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, when Søren sees the other dwarf starting to pick up some pieces, Søren's starting to have some FOMO. And he's gonna head over to the anvil and start picking up some pieces. He'll say to Queen, "Is this stuff valuable?" As he's picking up some pieces.
No,
Hold on.
don't touch that. It's pure concentrated evil.
Hold on.
Trying to decide if she wants to
So
mess with him or
this
not.
is basically from one of the Total War games. This is an Anvil of Doom here. You can see how, they would have carried it onto the potentially onto the battlefield. Gives you an idea of the general size. Okay, so as soon as Soren touches it, well, I was hoping somebody was going to do that.
His
Oh,
hand
right,
becomes
so-
an anvil.
Yeah, as soon as Soren goes in and touches a piece of the thing, he's immediately going to yank his hand back as he takes 1d burn damage. So you can roll your damage there, Ronky. Oh, I saw it on that 6 for a second.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh man, is he about to cripple his hand? Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Queen-
it's like you touch one of those pieces, and it's like because it really burns, and as soon as it hits the ground again, all of you will notice that it sort of like hisses and then just sort of dissolves away into like useless chunks of black dross.
Yeah, I wouldn't have touched it if I were you. It's only for dwarfs.
What the fuck? You could have told me that before I touched it.
It's more fun this way.
That hurt.
In the back of the cavern, because I didn't go forward, but in the back of the cavern, you hear Enfys go, "Ha ha ha ha!"
Okay, so it takes a little bit, 30 minutes or so to gather up all the stuff, secure it to where it's not going to fall loose. And now the dwarfs are like, moving really slow. But you are ready to progress on out, whatever.
So Enfys looks at Soren and says, so that's what you get for touching a dwarf's rocks.
Yeah, very funny. Who was the first aid person in the group?
I think it was Christoph.
Yeah,
He
Christoph
might
can
be
do
the only
first
one
aid.
that has first aid.
No, Jörg has.
I think somebody else had it.
Good.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, whoever it was that first aided Søren initially, he'll turn up to him and say, "I touched that stupid dwarf rock, and my hand's all jacked up. Anything you can do about it? You have some cream, some ointment?"
You can pee on it.
Can cut it
You
off
could-
to prevent gangrene.
You could tell that Kristoff is annoyed because he likes to kind of just be in his own brain, his own mind, solitary loner type, but more than willing to help. So he kind of like grudgingly says, "Well, I'm down to these last two bandages. He's like, let me take a look." He'll do some first aid. Let's see. They roll success by 4 on the first aid.
Automatically recover 1, and if you spend
It takes 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes to do the other treatment.
otherwise it's automatically he recovers 1.
Yeah. He's like, we'll have to take a break and stop if you want me to treat it any further. That's the best I can do for now.
Still kind of hurts a lot.
You could go pick up another piece with the other hand.
Yeah, it's a light grenade.
Do you guys feel like taking a break?
No, I think we should push on. There sounds of battle out there, apparently.
Yeah, well, as long as I've been listening for a little while, they come and go, and as long as they're out there, I'm good.
So where have we gone from this room?
You were just heading down a corridor, and this one happened to have like an archway to the side, and it opened up into this fairly large room or chamber, such like that.
So Enfys will ask Queen or Drory, what is the whole point of having a room like that with an anvil like that in a hallway like this?
Well, the anvil was there so they could make stuff. This was sort of almost a holy thing. Have you not heard of Anvils of Doom?
I can't recall.
They are ancient
What?
heirlooms of the dwarf race. These are where the rune weapons are created.
Aye, and so I've heard they can't be made anymore. So it's very sad that this is in pieces.
Alas. And Jory will, stand there and murmur a quick prayer to the ancestor god, probably to Grugni. I think he's the smith god. Yeah, Grugni. Grunji. Damn it. I'm having word mouth issues, apparently.
Well, onward and downward, I say. How's your hand feeling there, Soren?
Shut up.
So you return to the corridor sometime later. You continue forward. You will see several other rooms. They basically look, what's the word? Mostly damaged. Some of them look like they have been abandoned. There isn't a lot that is actually still present. So it doesn't look necessarily like this was whatever it was an immediate thing. Although it is kind of odd that the anvil would have been left behind. You will come to some doors that will, it's like, big old double doors, and it actually takes a bit of time, and probably the dwarfs, reading some of the appropriate runes to actually figure out how to open them. They're not, normal doors. You have to jump through some various hoops to get the darn things open. But as soon
Apparently, you
as
have
they,
to use a halfling as a knocker.
you don't have any halflings, sadly. That would have been useful, though. Just beat his head against the door. But as soon as the door opens, or the doors open, the chamber beyond, it looks more like almost the like a plaza sort of thing, for a proper room, for a proper construction. But far more notable is there are bodies all over this place, and those bodies are all orcs. Well, actually, you think they're all orcs.
They're fresh bodies.
They are fresh bodies, yes.
Uh-oh.
There's some of them that it looks like they've been like literally smashed to paste. There's some of them that just look like they've been crushed. There are also quite a number of them that look like they have been freaking melted.
Uh-oh.
Hmm.
But as you are, sort of looking in there, you realize that it isn't actually all orcs. There are also some beastmen that are present. And interestingly enough, it legitimately looks like the two groups were fighting one another.
By beastmen, is it just like super hairy guys, or like wolfmen, or Sasquatch, or?
Right. Hold on. Beastmen are
Just hairy
Sort of a
Canadians.
mixed bag.
Beastmen are sometimes known as the Beastken, or the cloven ones, the horned ones, beasts of chaos, that sort of thing. They are basically a race of mutant humanoids that kind of look like, well, they have various bestial traits. Some of them will have horns, some will have cloven hooves, such like that. They are interestingly quite similar in a lot of ways to the Wheel of Time Trollocs.
Soren's going to have a look around and see if amongst the dead there is any short swords.
Okay.
I was going to ask the obvious wizard if he detected any sort of magic around here. Hopefully there's no evil taint lingering about.
Yes. Do I sense anything?
Give me in that case, you're attempting a mage sense. Give me a check in the box, please. Or in the tower. I need to say tower because it's a tower here. Damn it. I forgot.
Okay.
Daniel, we need a skull.
Oh,
When its
right.
eyes light up.
Yeah, you're going to have to remind me to do that.
I'm absolutely going to try to remember to remind you. Based off of your magical senses, Enfys, you do not detect any additional like taint or the swirling winds of magic or anything like that. In fact, it's notably absent. But then dwarfs are like that.
I look at Georg and I say, you know how I sensed a great evil in the other room? Well, I sense even less evil in this room. Almost none. Boo.
All right. Loot away then.
Okay. Well, if you are attempting to scrounge, you can, because that's basically what this is going to be.
Yeah.
You can go with a scrounging roll.
Twitch dice suck.
Well, I know Soren was looking at that as well.
Base time on scrounging was an hour.
That is what it says in Raw. Yes.
So taking extra time is probably not going to be something we want to do here then.
Are there any bonuses to find a short sword on a battlefield?
I didn't even look to see if that does apply. I should look up scrounging again. Scrounging modifiers as the GM sees fit. Thanks, that's useful. Okay, so I actually have something. Just go ahead and make the roll, and I'm going to, depending upon the results.
Oh crap!
Woot!
Failure by 3 for Christoph.
Well, it probably makes sense that the goblins or the orcs really don't have, like, they're not known for their medical capabilities.
Scrounging defaults to -4.
Perception -4.
Need to make a note. Need to put a point in that. You know what? I'm just going to put a point in that. I haven't spent my point.
No. Unless there's bonuses.
Okay, so is Copper Tongue and or Enfys planning on doing anything in this period of time?
Well, I mean, I'll go poke around, but I'm not sensing anything magical, and I'm not seeing anything really magical. I think I'll just be, yeah, just poking around.
Copper Tongue will look around, and if for some bizarre reason there happens to be an orc that isn't quite dead yet, she's gonna kill it. She'll finish it off. So while all the scrounging is going on.
Noted. Okay, so Jorg was scrounging. Was he just, looking for anything non-specific?
Weapons mostly.
All right.
Specifically
So
want a knife, but beyond that.
a knife. What do you need a knife for? But yeah, so based off of that, then yeah, you can totally find a knife. It's going to be like a cheap knife, because, well, orcs.
I'll take what I can get for now.
All right, I need. I'm going to do it this way. Actually, no. Can I get everyone to make a universe reaction roll in the box, please? Okay. Nope. And good. And there. Wow. Okay. So, you guys have been, you start poking around a bit. It's like based off entirely off of the sheer destruction here. You probably will find a bunch of weapons, but they are like, it's like something has stomped on them and broken them, or they've been broken against something. Plus, it's generally it's orcs, and they generally use crappy cheap weapons.
Well, a
But
crappy
as
cheap weapon is better than no weapon.
you've got a weapon or two, don't you? Yeah, you
I
have
have
a knife.
I have a knife, but that's not my primary weapon.
Well, that Jorg has got a spear. That's not his primary weapon.
No, it is not.
That's why I'm looking for a short sword.
Well, you get a long knife that can use short sword skill. Items.
Items.
Do we have them?
Oh, right. Yeah. Hold on. You just got a big knife.
Yeah.
Because Ronki's thingamajig doesn't have the frickin' weights in them.
It doesn't?
It does not. I've complained about that multiple times, bro.
Bro.
Let's see, how much does that stupid thing weigh? That weighs 1 pound.
That's a heavy knife.
There. Oh, that's a large knife. There. It should be
As
in the
advertised.
items now.
Let's see if it works.
Well, I just copy pulled.
Yay, it works.
Okay, right. So, you guys are, poking around and such like that, and Dory is actually going to point out while he's like sort of leaning up against the wall, because it's like, oh, this his bag was, quite a bit heavier than he was expecting it to be, and he's not as strong as I don't think he's anywhere near it. No, he's just a little weaker than Copper Tongue, but it's like, oh, there's a little head. But he's going to point out, and he's like, is it just me, or are those sort of they're I don't want to say standards, because that's not the right word. They're symbols. Isn't that the same kind of thing we saw on the battlefield? Were these guys the same orcs?
Heraldry, you mean?
Sure.
I have skills for that.
Oh, yeah, I guess you can totally use it if you want to.
Because why not? I suck.
You're probably like, I don't know, I wasn't paying attention to that. I just know, crazy orcs were charging at us. And as you guys are poking around there, something is going to cause Kristoff to start, looking around with that. Wait a minute, I'm not so sure. I like something's not right.
Uh-oh.
And as you are just sort of poking around, you are going to see two orcs, fairly large orcs, come sprinting out of like almost not quite a side corridor, but from a different route. But Interestingly enough, they do not seem to be charging toward you. They seem to just simply be running.
Bugs.
Hmm.
And he points.
And at about that, just as he's like, pointing it, you will see a fairly large thing, just sort of like stomping around the corner behind them. It looks like it's completely wrought of metal or something like that, and it looks kind of like this, but it has dwarfish runes all over it. And the the
yeah.
thing, everybody's like, "Whoa, what the hell?" And it's like as it's coming around there, it just sort of like from that right arm thing, uh, looks like almost like molten magma or something just comes streaking out of it and hits one of the orcs. And just so you know, roughly how well it's doing, that poor orc takes a lot of damage. And as it is like firing whatever the hell it is, the runes that are all along that arm, which obviously aren't on the image, but they like light up really brightly, and suddenly it's like it gets really, really, needless to say, really, really hot in the area. Did it not actually show the damage?
No, it did
Nope.
not.
Nope.
That's interesting.
We had a issue. What did you do with it?
Oh, hold on. I'm going to test something. I think
Did
I know
you
what just.
did you
I
try the
think I know what.
hotkey or did you try to put it in
No,
the tower?
no, I know what I did. Let's see. Okay, I see what happened. That's not how much damage is. I rolled off of something that was on the combat tracker that was kind of hidden, so it automatically hit it.
Oh,
Interesting.
I didn't know it did that.
I just learned that it did that. So you'll see this orc is suddenly drenched in magma, something molten, and it like
Magma.
clings to him. It's like clinging to him as he's like screaming and burning.
And Enfys's eyes will just go wide with wonder.
Right. So
Yeah. So, a quick question:
uh-huh.
would Queen consider the appearance of a dwarf golem a good thing or a bad thing? Knowing if she knows her history.
It depends. Give me actually I don't think I need to necessarily do she would probably initially go, ha ha, that's what they deserve. And then she is going to sort of notice that the runes that are like on this thing look like they have been defaced.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, so it's probably not entirely operating properly.
All right. So Queen will motion to everyone that we need to hide. This thing ain't right.
One step ahead of you.
All right, so Jorg is shouting
One.
something that, interestingly enough, I think only he understands.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well,
I
that
need
doesn't
to
mean I won't do it.
actually I need to double check that. I wonder what battle tongue actually is.
Hang on one moment.
It is a secret language.
Yeah, anyway. Cover. So he's gonna get some cover. And
Right. Diving
then
for
probably
cover.
yell at Copper Top. Can you shut that thing off?
Is that something that she could do? I don't think she can.
Probably not at her skill level. I don't know. It depends on how you want to try to do that.
Like, I guess my question is, like, would she even know how? Like, how to power one of these things down?
Probably not.
Okay, that's kind of drives my answer. She'll shake her head. She's like, I do not know.
What is Soren doing?
He's hiding.
Okay. Then you can make a hide check. Oh yeah, I forgot to apply the original damage to orc number 14. I like how it just randomly auto assigns that stuff. Ooh, okay. He straight up died. Okay, so we'll need to do that. All right, so you scramble and dive for some sort of concealment, maybe like pull some dead orcs on top of you.
Given that this thing is shooting magma, he'd prefer like a hard. He'd prefer hard cover over the dead orcs.
Understandable.
Yeah. Queen is gonna go try to hide. She's not really good at it, but she's gonna try.
She's also kind of slow right now.
Yeah, she's a little slow. She's kind of rattling around like she's got a big bag of rocks.
What is hide based off of if you don't have it?
Hide.
Stealth,
Stealth, I mean.
Yeah.
Dex, or IQ -5.
Oof.
This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, because Dory doesn't have it either.
It's minus your encumbrance level as well.
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
User in your channel timed out.
User in my channel timed out.
All right. So what would the heavy encumbrance level be? Is that a 4?
Heavy's 3, I think, isn't it?
Let's see. Light, medium, heavy. Yeah, it's -3.
User joined your channel.
Nope. Failure by 9. Rattle, 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 crash.
Ooh, lovely. All right. So, what is Christoph doing? Looks like everybody's scrambling for cover and hiding
time.
places.
They're running from the Dwarf Golem. Is that where we left? Where I left a minute ago?
Yeah. So the two orcs were fleeing from this thing. One of them got blasted and, frankly, died straight away, although he's still on fire. And everybody else is scrambling for hiding places and or cover, preferably and cover.
Sounds like a great plan. Is stealth an option?
Yep.
He's gonna try to duck into the shadows and hide. let's see. So stops rolling stealth. I'll let you do the modifiers and whatnot. But success by 4
Okay.
on the stealth.
You dive for some sort of cover. Gotcha. And concealment.
Shadows, yeah.
Cool. What is Enfys doing?
Enfys will try to hide as well, somewhere near Soren.
Wow. Fail by 4. Not great. Okay, so the orc, the surviving orc, does not even hesitate to continue running, and doesn't seem to give a darn that his buddy is just like on the ground, and he will sprint straight through the area that you guys are in. He's not doesn't even seem to care that you're there, which is probably mostly understandable. And the golem thing, which I did fail to mention, it is large. It does have a SM of 2, although it's like on the cusp of being 3, but it isn't. It continues to stomp forward, and I am going to make a single roll there. Fail by 6. Actually, let me double check. It doesn't have any other craziness. Let's see. So, even though Enfys failed by 4, it does not seem to really pay attention. And Drory is in the process of doing the same sort of thing. Oh yeah, I forgot to do him, didn't I? Let's see if he can be just as crappy as Copper Tongue. He did not, but he's still not. He's still mostly in the open. But for Copper Tongue, you will definitely note that the golem, its head sort of like swivels and it like clearly looks at you, but then it like sort of goes forward and continues in its slow stomp after the orc that is running away. And based off of that, it does sort of come back to her that what little she knows about these automatons, they are very single-minded. So it is clearly like it's for primary parameter right now is to eliminate the orc. But since it's clearly looked at you, if it is damaged, you may be number 2, unless there were other orcs that split up. And it will stomp through the area, and now you definitely know what that hollow booming was. Oh,
Right.
Yeah. And
We need to
it's
go.
going to take a shot at the orc, but it does have some range penalties, so I'm just crit hunting now. So it takes a shot. There's a definite swell of heat. You will note again that the glyphs, or not the glyphs, the runes that are on the down the side of the gun arm. I don't whatever. Definitely glow much brighter. They light up when the thing fires, and it but it misses the orc in this time, or this orc. The other orc is still on fire, and you'll see that the magma, whatever it was, it's just like clinging to him and burning away.
Can I make a thaumatology roll to better guess what has happened to this thing?
Sure. Wait, Soren actually has thaumatology?
No,
Yeah.
Anfis.
Soren
No,
does
I'm
as
just
well.
like, wondering why.
Look at that.
Oh, he probably shouldn't have that. Okay, so you are not particularly proficient with the runes that the dwarfs use. You are aware that for the most part, dwarfs are considered non-magical. In fact, they cannot become wizards at all because they can't sense the winds of magic. However, based off of your rudimentary knowledge, it's probably going to track with what Copper Tongue assumed, that one of the runes is probably damaged, or wait, you're trying to figure out what it's doing. It's probably a defense of some sort, although why it would have let these orcs in here at all is something of a question. But so I'm probably just following its primary or its directive to destroy intruders.
Okay.
Are you trying? What specifically are you trying to learn? There, I mean, is there something
I think
specific?
no. I think that answers it. Just trying to get a better sense of what perhaps has caused it to go wonky.
Yeah. So, based off of your limited knowledge of how the rune stuff works, as far as you know, this may be not wonky. This may be normal behavior for this thing. However, since Copper Tongue actually is, quite a bit more proficient and actually has the rune lore stuffs, she's going to be able to recognize that the primary motive glyph or primary glyph, not glyph, I keep saying glyph, primary rune that is powering the thing has been damaged somehow. So she's going to definitely know, hey, if it hadn't been damaged, this thing may have been great. It may have stomped in here and looked at that there were some dwarfs and responded to them.
Okay.
So, as noted, the very large thing, I think that's about right, Daniel or Giger. The SM, yeah, it's like on the verge of shifting into the SM3, but it's not quite there. It's a couple inches short, sort of thing. So, as noted, the automaton is going to stomp through the area. It's probably going to squish a couple of orc and or beastmen corpses that are in the way, and it will continue to pursue the that orc initially out of sight.
Well, it spotted me. I think we need to go. It's focused on the orc right now, but if he kills that orc, he may be coming back.
Well, let's get out of here.
Sure, you don't want to fight the thing?
I'll take the dwarf's advice in this case.
I'm assuming Queen would know that it would be a bad idea to try to fight this thing.
Well, maybe, possibly, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys continue to try to get the hell out of Dodge. Based off of the two dwarfs' instinctive understanding of how these sort of outposts are designed, it won't be particularly difficult from where you're at now to go, okay, the main entrance should be that away, which was not where the orc was necessarily. Actually, no, sorry. Which was the direction that the orc and the golem thing were sort of marching toward. There. Like I said, words. Maybe you can sneak past it.
So, in the scrounging of the battlefield, was there sufficient bonuses, like a +3, for Surin to find a short sword amongst the dead? Surin failed his scrounge by 3.
Sure. For a short sword, I have a short sword already on there. Find out.
I'll assume if he does find it, it's cheap.
That is correct. Now I have to compare this to that. Right, yeah, so there is a short sword in the thing, the items.
Cool.
It will be cheap, and it's like ugly because it's a freaking orc thing, so it's almost like just a big a short sword sized slab of hunk of metal. It's not something you're probably particularly excited to even lift.
He will mutter his disappointment under his breath, but he goes, better than nothing.
Okay. So the way out, the likely way out is the same direction that the orc and the dwarf golem seem to have stomped.
Because of course it is.
You didn't think it was going to be easy, did you? Well, maybe.
So that is the only way out of this room.
I mean, that's if you're trying to get out of the complex itself. That is,
Or go back the way we came.
Based off of what the dwarfs know about how these places are laid out. That is probably that is the direction that it go to get out.
All right.
The main.
But I think that the two dwarves should go well in advance of us down the corridor, and we'll follow behind, and they can tussle with their golem friend and give us time to run away should they turn into molten blobs.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
I'm just being practical. Oh, no, wait, I got a second idea. Maybe Soren could go and, with his good hand, raise it up as a sign of peace.
Oh, man.
I don't think that's the right finger sticking out for that.
So are you guys planning on trailing the thing and then hoping to, well, I won't say sprint because neither Copper Tongue nor Jory are going to be doing much sprinting.
Well, I suppose we need to reassess why we're here. Why are we here?
Ooh, but I know why we're here, because some of you guys said things like, there could be treasure down here. There could be a city down here. There could be all sorts of wonderful things down here.
I didn't
And all
say
we
anything
found
about giant
is
golems.
death, and more death. But hey, let's press on.
You're not
You
scared,
could-
are you, Enfys?
You could just totally turn around and go back up the ramp.
I'm quite wise. And I think we should just, consider why we came down here, what fun things we were going to find. And boy, we found some fun things.
No pain, no gain. That's what they say.
In
Or
your
is it-
case, it's true.
Or is it
Nobody says that.
you got to go out on a limb to get the fruit? No, it's not that one. No risk, no reward. That's the one.
I got a new one. When you play with a dwarf's rocks, you get your fingers burned. Anyway, press on. Let's go. Come on. Let's keep going. We've come this far. What possibly could happen next?
The fun is that way, following the stomping.
Apparently. That's why I'm suggesting the dwarves go first.
Well, to be fair, the dwarves are moving really slowly right now with their heavy packs.
Well, then we can follow behind. We'll give them a head start.
And Jory
How
makes
quickly
the
did that thing
comment,
move?
Not very at all. It
So
was really slow.
We could easily outrun it if we had to.
Yeah, well, normally, yes. Right now, Copper Tongue and Jory could not outrun it.
Yeah, Soren's
They could
not
always
too
drop their
concerned about
rocks.
that. Oh, wait a sec. Do I have sense of duty companions?
Yeah, you say that, Giger. I was like double checking. Like, would Jory do that? I would have to make him. I would have to, or I would have him make a greed check to see, because it's entirely possible. He's like, no, I can make it. I can make it. Yeah. So, which direction are you going? Because, like I said, you could just turn around and retrace your steps and go back up into the cave, and then exit out through that hatch.
We're going any way but that way.
That way. Back the way you came, or after
Well,
the golem?
any way except back the way we came.
Okay. Well, okay. So, simply based off of the fact that, you are slowed down a bit because of the dwarfs, and in this case, that may be beneficial because that means you aren't likely to immediately catch up to the slow-moving automaton. Are you keeping it in sight? Are you trying to avoid it, being in sight, etc.? Who's leading this thing?
The dwarves.
Apparently, Copper Tongue is leading.
Now I have to remind myself how this works. You just drag the tokens. How do you do that? The formation thing.
You're dragging the PCs onto a map sort of thing.
Or hit the autofill.
Well, that's cheating.
I don't remember what hers looks like. There. Okay. You can just drag like that. Right. So on the on the thing, I just threw everybody up there so you can arrange any sort of formation that you so desire.
Did you put up a map or is it a chase thing?
No, it's on the party sheet. Party sheet and then order. Did the PC see that? I don't remember.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
the
there we
one.
go.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so you will see the automaton continue its slow pursuit of the orc. It's going to shoot a couple more times, but it has missed. So by the time that will mean you'll have to circle around chunks of glowing magma or something that's just like sitting there and hissing and steaming and is really, really hot. The orc makes eventually you will see basically the main entrance because it gets really, really bright, so clearly the front door is sort of open, and you will definitely note that the orc has probably like just sprinted straight out into the snow. Don't know if he's gonna come back or what. The automaton is going to march all the way to the front entrance. I have a sort of map, but I wasn't really planning on using it. I did find it online. I thought it was really cool, so I'll share it anyway. So basically, this front door thing is like wide open, and I'm gonna say like you guys are like up here peeking around the corner at the the automaton, which goes all the way to the door and will like discharge the magma a couple more times uh, in the direction of outside, and then it turns around.
Yeah, let's not be where it's going to go.
Okay. So how does that play out?
Well,
Probably need to find another place to hide.
I think since it came from that direction, since that's the corner we're hiding around, we should probably go a different direction, like, say, that one.
Okay. Are you doing that just as it turns around? Are you doing that as it's continuing to move?
Seeing that it's reaching the end of what we could reasonably expect to be its limits, I think we should probably start moving before it turns around.
Which will be really, really amusing for the two dwarfs who are like, oh God, I gotta go. That's a really long way away.
But you could always stay. Maybe it'll respond to verbal commands in Dwarvish.
Not in the face, not in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's probably not that difficult to at least for most of you to get over there. Copperton, give me a universe reaction roll. Let's see if you manage to get all the way over there before it starts turning around, since you are hands down the slowest PC right now.
Do you want it in the box or open?
Open's fine. Don't
You're
want
gonna know
poor
if
or
it goes
lower.
bad.
Oh, it's totally going to be bad. Bad.
Wow.
That's what
Okay.
I call it.
So let's see here. One, I can remove my orc. All right. Well, that'll be interesting.
Well, I guess I'll see you guys when I roll up a new character.
Falls out of the ceiling. Oh, we're doing things.
Yeah. Sorry.
That is an interesting way of handling the sizing.
Yeah, it was just something I wanted to experiment with, and I was like, I wonder if this will work. So everybody will be able to shift their stuff around.
How come he's red?
Because he's hostile.
He's a bad guy.
Come on, work your dwarven mojo there. Get him to turn at least yellow.
And so the two or goblins, jeez, the two dwarfs are moving along really slow because those packs are really heavy. And right at about at that point, the thing sort of turns around, and the two of them are right in the open.
Great.
Well, you rolled bad.
I know.
Question. About what time of the day is it now?
Oh yeah, I should have done that. It's probably about 11 o'clock.
All right, so I'm not quite ready to get my 8 points back yet.
Well, you could still totally do something cool. I mean, I absolutely want to see the calamity table in use.
Yes, I know.
Okay, so Jorg, top of the round, what is he immediately doing? So it is going to sort of almost shift into combat rounds, depending on how you guys react. You have scrambled over there, you wheeled around, and then you realize, oh crap, the dwarfs were so far freaking behind.
I think what I will do is do a wait. And we've got the lock tokens on.
Sorry, hold on, let me turn that lock tokens on. What?
Yeah.
Where do I turn that off?
There should be an icon
It's
up
on
the
the
top
map.
of the map, or you could open up the map interface, and there's a toggle button there.
Anywho, wait to be converted to a ready action. There we go. That is if the thing behaves in a hostile manner toward the dwarves, he will yell and attempt to get its attention.
I assume these little square things are pillars.
Yes.
Yeah, so Søren's going to see the big thing coming. He's going to make sure he has an eye on the dwarves, but he'll be taking up position behind a pillar.
So also, as noted, this destruction is totally there. If I thought about it, I would have hid this. Dang it! Would have hid that area. But oh well.
Oops.
We don't know that anyway.
All right, Copper Tongue. What are you gonna do?
Oh man.
I can tell you straight away, I'm planning on having Jory make a greed check just to see if he actually will drop his pack and try to sprint forward.
Yeah, I'm checking her
For a voluminous list of disads.
I mean, dear God. All right. So yeah, let me go ahead and make a greed check.
You can do it. Or
Nope,
not.
she cannot.
He's like, no, I am not leaving this behind. Damn it.
All right. So, I wonder. Okay, she's gonna try this, and this is probably gonna get her killed. But she is going to hold the bag with the pieces. She's not gonna put it down, and she's going to hold out her hand, and if she knows, like, would she know like some kind of command or anything that would be like a default command for these kind of things, or has it been just too long since these guys have been around?
Oh, you've never actually seen one of these automatons before.
Okay. So,
We come in peace.
yeah,
Shoot to kill. Shoot to kill.
she's going to hold out her hand in like a, like an open, friendly gesture and say,
You shall not
friend
pass.
in Dwarvish, friend in Dwarvish, and try to get it to calm down. I
Okay.
don't think she has any kind of influence skills.
Actually, it might not even matter because I think automatons have that unfazable.
Yeah.
So you can't intimidate them.
So at this point, she knows that running is not gonna work. So she's going to try to get it to stop and not see her as a threat.
Stop, please.
And she's going to say it in Dwarvish, hoping that by speaking the language, it might trigger something.
Okay.
And that's going to be her turn.
That's interesting.
Nice, Giger.
What is Kristoff doing?
Christoph, what is, I was trying to find the calendar. You said that the holidays are on there. Is today one of those days?
Today
Is it a good day to die?
Not a count. It is not a. Honestly, at this point, it wouldn't really matter. You just still start at 150 point. But
Oh, right. I mean, I was looking at it more from a role play perspective.
yeah. Today does it not automatically show that today is selected the 13th of Nachhexen?
I see that on the calendar. It says the 13th.
Yeah. So
Is it a holiday?
no.
All right. And let's see. He looks like he's in the back. Oh my God. That thing is huge, right? 20 feet tall.
That seems why.
He's like, we should totally just get out of this place. No reason to give our lives.
Well, the exit's that away.
Oh, shit.
One of the exits. I mean, you could always run back over it. Run back across there and go back up the ramp.
We could run right past it while it's melting the dwarves.
Yeah, he's gonna like try to find a way. So he'll like sneak up behind this pillar and like look, he's just like trying to find an opportunity.
Okay. If you are stealthing, then give me a stealth check with the appropriate movement and or encumbrance modifiers.
I'll say the -5, but I don't know the visibility part of it. But let's just roll that. So with the -5, he failed by 5.
Oh,
I guess that would be all.
How high are the ceilings in the chamber ahead of us, or where the dwarves are?
pretty high. This looks like it was probably about 30 feet total.
Okay, and about how much does that golem weigh?
Lots.
Little
I mean, yeah, it's like it's really tall. I mean, it's what almost 20, or it's like 20 feet tall. It's mostly made of metal, so it's probably pretty darn heavy.
It'll be measured in tons.
Okay.
I was just like throwing that because I was thinking of what is it, the guards in was it Metal Gear, where it's like the exclamation point if you fail a stealth check.
So Enfys is going to simply walk over behind Enfys and say,
You are infants. You're walking behind yourself.
I'm walking behind,
Whoa.
sorry, Soren.
Whoa.
It's going to mutter as I pass him. What a dumb idea coming down here.
Okay, so
Sounds like you're scared, Enfys.
I bet it was a powerful wizard.
okay, so the golem advances forward, or the automaton advances forward 3 hexes. Is it actually in? It's so hard to tell with those. It advances forward, and it very clearly is about to shoot at you, Copper Tongue. You will see, it raises the arm up. You will see the glyphs on the runes on the gun arm. They flash, like normal, but nothing seems to emerge. Rory. Is he gonna succeed? He's probably not gonna. Well, I don't know. That's not that bad. Well, he could restrain it. Let's see. What do we got here? I got to look at his. Stubborn.
Well, there was also another thing tied to that. So I
What?
figure an IQ check would probably do here to see whether he picks up on the fact that it is not actually going to fire.
Unless it's empty. Oh, right.
Okay. That's good
It
enough
definitely
for me. I'll
raised.
say
Yeah,
that
it definitely raised its arm at her.
it raised its arm, but I didn't see the fires building up
You
there.
did
So
see that. You did see the runes in the thing light up, and you have seen those several times. Right as they're about to fire, or as he's fired at the orc. Okay, so are you saying that does not trigger his weight? He does not shout out like a crazy person, or does he shout out like a crazy person?
well, you make it sound like there's really no reason for me not to do that. So he will have.
But you
shouted
made
like
the
a crazy
IQ check
person.
as well. So yeah, since you made the IQ check, it's entirely up to you. Like where he's like maybe inhaling to say something, and then he notes, it didn't shoot after all. So
All
you
right,
don't
well,
have to shout if you don't want to.
he's going to hold back then, and on his turn, he's I guess essentially going to be doing a wait again for the same reasons. Although the conditions for it triggering are somewhat different, I suppose.
What are the conditions now?
Well, it's whether or not it looks like it's taking a hostile action. It's just what does the hostile action look like? Because apparently it's not going to shoot at him.
Just be waiting behind the pillar, observing, and he'll say to Enfys, see, if they've got this thing protecting this place here, there's going to be valuable stuff. We could be rich.
All right. So emboldened by the fact that it did not fire yet, Copper Tongue will continue her position. She'll keep her hand raised. And in Dwarvish, she will call out, I am Copper Tongue, heir to the kingdom of Mombaldar.
Mombaldar.
Yep, that's the name. I am friend. And all this is in Dwarvish, so the only person, unless there's somebody else in the group who speaks Dwarven, the only person who would understand that would be what's his face.
Okay. Now I have to figure out what they're going to do. Some like apostrophes in there because it's not proper fantasy without, crazy number of
Oh no,
apostrophes.
you do the roof. You do the
No.
rooftop with Dwarvish.
Apostrophes are for fruity pansy elves, not for dwarves.
That's true. You need like umlauts.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't have the keyboard shortcuts to type them.
Yeah, you do.
I'm sure I do. I just don't know how to do it.
Alt and 0244 on the keypad.
I'm not going to remember that.
I
I
do.
wonder.
Well, that's you. You remember like what issue of Pyramid something crazy and random is. Oh, to have that brain.
I can't do that because I don't have a keypad on this keyboard.
Yeah,
Or
that
rather,
doesn't work on my laptop either.
I had a keyboard. I have a keypad, but I don't think it works anymore.
Well, you can always cheat and use the character map.
Yep. Okay. What's Christoph doing? You should charge it. You should attack it.
All right, Kristoff is gonna stealth again. Or he's gonna continue to think he's stealthy and creep along this wall here.
Okay.
So he'll move, like he'll go slowly this time. So basically like one hex at a time.
Proper stealthing.
You want me to roll stealth again?
Yeah, roll it in the box this time.
Okay.
So you don't know if you win or lose. Well,
Yeah.
you will know if you
He
lose.
thinks he's winning. So, he's a winner. He does have his bow out, though he does not have an arrow knot. Just by the way. I'm done.
Anvis will remain behind Soren and say, money my ass, just death and destruction.
Guess that means I can keep your share when we get rich.
Copper Tongue will note that it abruptly, or the automaton raises the or like points the gun arm, for lack of a better word, toward the ceiling, and you will see different runes start lighting up, which she can give me a rune lore. I think it's going to be in this case +2.
Okie doke.
I think it's targeting the LRMs.
Success by 2.
Okay, so she's going to see those particular runes, like lighting up, and realizing it is recharging its ammunition supply.
Well, crap.
Right. Jory continues to hobble
Sprint.
forward to. I can't. I can't sprint. Not with these things.
I think Yarg is gonna strongly suggest the dwarves relocate. Come on!
Yes, Soren, from his concealed vantage point, he'll just be sort of waving the dwarfs over. He's not going to be shouting, come on, and give away his position.
All right. So as soon as she realizes that the jig is up, she's gonna yell out, "It's recharging!" Does she know how long it would take for one of these to recharge? Is it like
Probably not.
okay? So she'll call out that it's recharging, and it might be a good idea to go ahead and make a break for it. Well, no, he's parked in the door. That's a wall, right?
Muted.
You're muted. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you not hear me?
No. You were
Not just now.
You were not pushing the button or something.
Huh. Okay.
So like
Maybe my
that,
finger slipped.
so that's basically a doorway, and that's a full-on wall right behind him, right?
This, yes.
Okay.
But hey, there's open doorway there.
Yeah. So she's gonna call out and let everyone know that it's recharging, and she's gonna make one more greed check.
Now, see what you do is you run past it while it's recharging. You let it follow you. And as it walks right under the door, you hit the button, and the door comes crashing down on his head.
She is going to start cussing up one side, down the other, slam down the bag of anvil pieces, and start running towards the rest of the group. But she is hot angry.
Noted. Especially that critical fail on the bad temper.
Yeah.
She went
Infus
berserk.
probably is going to want to give her a wide berth.
You're talking about Infus is going to be like, oh, this is going to be awesome.
All right, so she's back up to a 4 on the move.
It's going to take the golem plot plus 1d minus 3 rounds to reload.
Christoph's just going to continue to take another, he'll move another yard
Noted.
and stealth. I mean, I'm assuming there's at least some shadows. Otherwise, if he's pretty much in plain sight.
What if it sees perfectly in darkness?
It probably does, but he doesn't know that. Yeah, maybe it's, at least moving silently or just trying to stay out of notice.
Pretend you're a rock.
Enfys is going to withdraw to like here.
Yep. And he will absolutely see, oh, hey, this is open. It's like a collapse or something. So it's absolutely open. Recharge. As it's totally tracking Copper Tongue. Drory. Okay. Yeah, I made the greed check earlier, but I can do that again because it's like, oh crap, she's running. That seems scary to me. Nope. I can do it.
Mm-hmm. I think we're going to start falling back. And encouraging others to do the same.
No need for encouragement for Soren. He moves.
All right. Moving, and she is going to yell at Stonebeard as she goes by to drop it. The thing's gone haywire.
Everybody's moving back.
Yep. It's fine. You can totally sneak over that way. I'm certain you won't get incinerated or evaporated or moltenated. I don't think that's an actual
Burninated.
word, but
No, I'm like, damn it, Queen, you ruined my plan of distracting it while I ran by it. Okay.
Oh,
It's still
I'm
distracted.
so
It's still tracking her.
Yeah, it's
it
totally
is actually
distracted.
still tracking her. Although right
Now
now
we're-
it's probably
it's
like
just-
looking
Right.
in that direction.
Right, exactly. Like now you're like in this line of sight, or I'm in line of sight. Okay. All right. Fuck. You know, he like mumbles again. And
Womp
he's
womp.
gonna, I guess, he'll just do his full move at this point. Because he sees everybody's running. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, he just runs along the wall.
And Enfys is like, "Ooh, is this a way out?"
I'm not sure I can see who's got a torch up ahead, meaning up behind me now.
Yeah, I don't think we established who actually had torches.
Okay, so with regards to the lighting, in this particular area, it's probably it's quite a bit brighter because honestly, these should have been even larger because I envisioned them as well, they are much larger, but the doors are open and well, you have snow outside, so it is a little bit brighter in that area. Everywhere else is still starts getting back to the -5. So yeah, I don't know who has the torch. Wait,
Well, if Soren has one, I'm going to turn back. I'll just turn my head and say, "Hey, Soren, there's a tunnel in here."
recharging. So you can't those of you who are like glancing in the direction of the arm or the golem thing, you will note that it's also gonna it's actually staying in that position as it's doing the recharging. It is sort of focusing seems to be focusing on Copper Tongue, but when Copper Tongue glances in that direction with regards to she's identified, okay, this is recharging. You will be basically, it does not have like a progress bar, but it's got like the equivalent. And what it's doing is every round that it's standing there and it's recharging, it's gaining another ammo. So currently, it now has 3 shots. Right. You shouted at him to do the thing. Will he do the thing? Or will he say, no, I can make it? Well, oh God, it's wild. Ah. So do that. Where's my thing? And that is the wrong thing. I didn't want to push that button. I wanted to push that button. Since Giger pointed out the whole, hey, you can bookmark, or not bookmark, hotkey. I guess it'd be hotkey the token assets.
Yeah.
So he's going to ground his and sprint forward.
Still falling back. Hopefully out of line of sight at this point.
I don't know why anybody didn't want to fight him. It would have been great.
Moving.
Right.
Also moving.
Hmm. I guess I am moving.
You sound so sad.
I am sad.
Alrighty. Can I see enough to move into this passageway?
Yes. Damn it, I forgot to turn
Okay,
the
I'll go about that
lighting
far.
thing off. Oh well. Target is moving out of acquisition range. Must reacquire. Good news. He didn't get additional ammo this round. Maybe that's bad news. I don't know. It's bad news.
Falling back. Speeding up a little bit.
Chickens.
Hey, look, this way.
Oh, I just found the passage.
Moving, still cussing up a storm.
You know, it's a terrible pity that automatons are hidebound.
Hmm.
What does that mean?
It's not creative at all. So, because if it was moderately creative and knew the entire area, it had totally gone here and tried to head you guys off. But it's not able to do that.
I'm so sad.
But as you
He
can
said.
see, it does not move particularly fast.
All right, we're gonna move a little faster now.
Hey, don't forget me.
Moving.
All right.
And moving.
And moving.
Yeah, I'm at the top of the round. I'm going to advance this forward a little bit. I just have to. 3. There.
I'm curious, would an automaton actually go into a tunnel that's not part of the complex?
Well, that's why I'm saying it's basically programs like they ran this way, so it's gonna pursue in that direction.
Yeah, but
It's clearly
would it pursue into the tunnel?
That's a really interesting question.
Is that on its pathing?
Do not move yet, Jorg. I'm just advancing the tracker. I need to figure something out really quickly. Let's see. Enfys moves at 9. No, not 9. Duh. That's 5. Let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2. Go here. I'm gonna advance the tracker for 5 rounds. Can you move everybody or move your character how far you will cover in that distance?
How many rounds did you say?
5.
Okay.
What's the state of these rooms?
Ruined.
User in your channel timed out.
Does it look like there's potentially anything valuable? Or is it just
Value is
totally ruined?
subjective.
User joined your channel.
The Rosetta Stone is nothing but a rock with a bunch of carvings on it, and yet it's pretty valuable.
So Christoph will need to. Is that as far as he can get in the 5 rounds? Or did he miss that part?
I think he may have wandered off.
Microphone activated.
I'm sorry.
Or he turned his microphone off.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
My TeamSpeak crashed again.
Okay. So is the location where he's at? Because I said I'm going to have everybody advance five rounds.
Yeah, he's moving full speed, so he was trying to keep up with Enfys. So he would have been about, however far behind he was from Enfys.
Just move him in there. With regards to your question, okay, you're gonna have to mute that hot mic. Thank you. With regards to your question, Ronky, it looks like this is actually I don't know what these rooms. They were probably like guard rooms. Because you have, beds and such like that. It does look, simply based off of the surrounding environment, it does look like most of the stuff has been like smushed. I mean, you could spend some time searching if you want to.
No, it's just a quick glance. If it's obviously trashed and ruined, then he's not going to spend time looking. But if there's potential it hasn't been touched, then he will.
Nothing
Yeah,
showing.
in this case, it definitely looks like the ceiling mostly fell in here. So it's going to be like, difficult terrain actually inside as you're like, picking or stepping over, junk and rocks and stuff like that.
Søren will point out, look, there's a door over there. We might be able to get behind it.
Might be able to rush over and get their bags too.
Well, that wouldn't be occurring to Søren because he got burned last time, literally.
Yep. Okay, so back to Jorg. So now everybody's moved. So some time has elapsed as you are sort of circumventing and avoiding the thing. And now you resume. So, what is Jorg's decision? Is he going to charge out there and attack the golem?
We don't know where anything goes here, so we're kind of winging it.
Yep.
So at this point, I think Yarg is going to follow the flow for the time being.
Okay, so you can move him wherever. And Soren can make a beeline for that door.
Well, Soren's not actually. Søren is not actually going for the door. He's just pointing it out that that's a possibility.
Okay. So what's he doing?
So he'll say, do we go back around behind it, or do we follow this corridor? Pointing to this one. Now, looking at the size of this corridor, would this golem fit through it?
It might, but it would be definitely squeezing. No, actually, I probably wouldn't. Of course, I'm looking at the end state, and while the PCs don't know, there's no exit from there, which is understandable. It's got kill pockets here.
Yeah,
So-
that'd be about right.
Well, what do we do? Go around behind it, or head down this corridor? I guess there's also this passageway here.
Three choices then. Shame nobody has intuition.
Søren is not the leadership type, so he'll be looking for someone smarter than
How do
him
we
to
know,
make a choice.
How do we know there isn't like a secret door down at the end of this hallway in this other room?
Well, we don't even know what that is. We just see the corridor.
Well, I say we go down the bloody corridor.
Well, it's not your turn.
Søren was just asking what the group wants to do.
Queen runs up. Would she have like any kind of intuition about, which way would be best to go because of dwarven stuff?
Like I said, simply based off of the placement and the area here, this place looks like it was like a guard station, which does imply that that is quite probably does not have a lot or an exit out, because that's where you put the crossbowmen to shoot the people who are trying to breach the facility in that room. Don't know about the tunnel, but that door right there is very clearly just like, it's opening up back into that room you were in. I hope the thing isn't in there.
Well, we'd hear him stomping around, right?
Stomp, stomp, stomp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not quiet. It's not stealthy.
Okay.
Unless
So-
it is.
She'll point down the hallway and say, we don't want to go that way because there's probably not a way out.
What makes you think that?
And she'll explain the whole crossbowman thing that GM just said. It's where in the typical dwarven hold, it's where you stick the crossbowman to shoot people trying to get in the front door.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
All right, Christoph. Oh, would like to search the rooms we're in looking for supplies. Yeah, you can spend some time potentially searching. He starts scrounging, however, remember, scrounging defaults to do a scrounging takes an hour per raw. Rules as written. Which, maybe you want to hide out in here for an hour and hope the thing doesn't come back.
So, is it considered meta that if we know when the GM suggests things like that in that tone of voice, it's usually a bad idea to not go with that?
I think it'll totally be fine. Damn, I wish I had noticed these.
We came from that way, right?
Yes.
And we know that if we go back that way, there's nothing new. We'll just get back into that other area that had the anvil and stuff, right?
That would be reasonable
Yes,
to
probably.
expect.
All right, so we don't want to go back that way.
I wish I had noticed these on the images before. I would have totally, snipped that out of here and turned that into the golem thing.
Oh, that would have been a really good idea.
That would have been a great idea. Especially it's like you see it and you come around here and you come around there and see those two statues and go, oh no, no.
Yeah, in fact,
Even if they're just statues.
you said earlier that it looked like the ceiling had collapsed in here and there's nothing but rubble and smashed up stuff, so there wasn't much immediately obvious.
So in that case, does he Christoph, give me a universe reaction roll. If you get good or better, I'll say, yeah, there's like some scraps of stuff that you can go up. Okay, so the universe is cold and indifferent. It doesn't care if your buddies bleed out.
Keep in mind, the scrounging skill is to find something that will serve a particular purpose. You're looking for something in particular. You're not actually just searching for the room or searching the room for valuable stuff.
Well, that depends. It's one of those poorly defined GURPS skills that they have a tendency to use in the wrong way, given its wording. For example, they use the scrounging skill for finding basically anything in an abandoned building after the end.
Yeah, I actually I did pull up the after the end thing for the scrounging results where you had the minor, major, and amazing. I was trying to figure out, what should I change? Could I use that for this sort of purpose? But I'd have to.
I know Dungeon Fantasy has an actual section that explicitly says what skills you use for what general dungeon stuff.
Yeah, I would be surprised if it didn't say scrounging for that.
I don't know why I didn't. I looked at the one about the loot, but I didn't fully. Do you know what book which book that's in, Brian? I will
Exploits.
look
Probably
at
going to
that
be
after the game.
exploits.
Is it exploits?
Yeah,
That would be my
I'm looking
first
now.
guess.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna take a look at. I'm gonna make a note, and I will, dig into that a bit more after the game.
Who's
So Enfys, anyway, Enfys is just listening to the conversation, realizing, yes, it makes sense. There probably isn't anything down there worth investigating.
Boom, boom, boom. Damn, he's slow.
If we're trying to work out what we're doing, Søren's going to be particularly interested in listening for the steps if they're getting closer.
No, based off of the sound, it's definitely still over there. And you did note that it was moving. It's pretty damn slow.
Okay. York is going to say, Scout, get to that door over there and listen for anything coming through. Everybody else, get ready to go that way. And then York is going to throw his torch out that way. Since it seems relatively obvious at this point that the what the position of the golem currently is.
That sounded suspiciously like you're stepping into the leadership position.
Well, it's probably because I'm probably the leader.
To your horror and dismay.
To my horror and dismay.
So which door were you pointing to scouting out? The main door or the door down the end of the hall?
That door.
Okay, heading that way.
As far as we know, the other door is a dead end. That's what the dwarf said. I guess we need to
Okay.
also see how one opens said door.
Well, in this case, this is just a regular door. Because it's like they don't want anything super complicated.
All right, so she's going to move over to the door, get ready to go. And this is a tabletop RPG. The door is always the boss enemy.
I was just noticing. Crap. It zoomed. I was just noticing these things on the map, and I'm like wondering what they are.
Mm-hmm. Probably guns. Which would be kind of unfortunate because they're across from each other.
Yeah, that's why it's like that. Huh?
All right, well, Enfys is just going to remain where he's standing, waiting to see what happens next.
There are pipes.
Hey. Now Yarg is going to start yelling. Something along the lines of, come and get it, you son of a bitch.
Søren will open the door and peek out.
You see the room, or that area. It does not seem to be occupied. You can also see a nice big bag over there that you might want to grab.
No.
I mean, it's tempting. Somebody left behind some treasure or something.
So Søren will say, it's all clear.
Looks clear. Now's your chance there, Copper Tongue. You can rush over there and grab your bag.
Let's see.
She's not impulsive, is she?
No, but she's greedy.
That just means she won't leave without it.
Yep.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
going for that bag.
He's going for that bag.
Doesn't mean
So
she
she-
has to go right now, though.
Oh, the door's open.
Yep.
And yeah, she's going to push past Soren and start heading that way.
On the bright side, next round, you can move 5 if you are sprinting.
Yep.
Kristoff's like, nope, I'm heading towards the door. See you guys later.
Alrighty, I'm heading out the
looks like
door.
they're bailing. All right. So you are screaming, or shouting, rather. And now I am actually curious, based off of Ronky's earlier question, hidebound. So I think if nothing else, it's going to get close. 1, 2, 3. It's like trying to puzzle out. Do I follow that? Hey, she's going for her bag. Dare I do the same? No, that'll get me killed. Screw that noise.
Jorg will continue to shout while he secures himself a rock. And sort of lean out a bit and say, "You're the product of shoddy workmanship."
So Soren's just going to hold the door open. He'll be waiting on Jorg.
And running. This is fine.
I'll continue to run.
And now I need to do that. Can he? No, he can't actually see it. Good to know. he already made his greed check and decided, nah, bro. I nearly got killed at by the orcs earlier because I let my greed get the best of me.
Jorg is going to continue to shout insults and advance to the just outside of the visible angle there.
So he can't quite see it, but how is he aware that it's there?
Well, he's got a rough idea of what the tunnel looks like here. So
Plus,
sort of what he's keying on.
there's, if nothing else, there's a definite glow coming from over
Also
there
that.
from the runes.
So the plan here is to pop out, chuck the rock, and pop back in, but I don't want to do that as a move and attack.
Just continuing to wait.
You're gonna roll like a 3 on that rock, and it's like gonna shatter something.
Oh, I doubt I could even throw it that far. Although,
My precious.
Yes.
So he wants to go up to the door. Christoph wants to go up to the door.
Uh-huh. The door is open.
Oh, it is open. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All 30, the doors, all of the doors there are open. They actually, I don't want to say open. They look more like they've been smashed.
But
So from
before,
there, you can definitely see all the way. Even though the map has like stuff over here, that is actually outside.
so I can see into this room, the first room here.
Yeah, you can see all the way out there to where it's like, where it's pointing right now is actually like, outside. It's like snowy there.
Okay. All right. So he's gonna. I don't know. It sounds stupid. He wants to check for traps.
Yeah.
Those,
Okay.
Those little things look dangerous. How long does that take? Is that
You
like a
would have
couple
to
minutes?
ask me that, wouldn't you?
well, I know
Yeah.
lockpicking takes like a minute base time. I would expect it to be similar. But everybody's already gone through the door. Why would you check for traps after that?
Have we?
No, they haven't gone
Yeah.
through that door yet.
I
Talking
thought
about
we
this
came
door.
down the.
Oh, he's at the other. Well, that one was open.
Well, I'm checking like the area because I see these little things that look like spikes come out of the floor.
Well, okay, but we did see the golem go all the way through there and then come back. I thought.
Oh yeah, those totally probably are spikes that like come out of the floor. Like these dwarfs are, prepared to defend their place. They've got like gas coming through here because you can see there are like some pipes going into there.
That is right, though. The golem went all the way down there.
Yes. But yeah, you can poke around and look for traps. In which case, go ahead and make a roll into the box, please.
Yeah, I'll do that anyways. That's one of his quirks. But also, while I'm waiting on Queen and everybody else to catch up, he might as well spend a moment to do that. Is what he's thinking.
Okay. All right. So you start poking around looking for traps.
All right. I'm just going to keep on moving up closer to where Christoph is.
You bloody Longshanks.
God help me. It's totally going to melt my face off. I will perform my pop-out maneuver.
Okay. So you pop out and you will see it's like just standing there. The gun arm is pointed at the ceiling, and some glyphs that are runes that I don't. Did you see it do this before? I know Copper Tongue
No.
did, but I don't know if you saw it. It's basically like recharging the ammo.
Okay. Right.
So
well,
luckily it doesn't have a weight to shoot a target that pops out.
this is good. So it's basically going to be even dex with range, and I don't really care if I hit it or not, just in the general vicinity. Although, if I just hit the off button with the rock, yeah, I got plenty of distance. Looks like I can throw it like 50 yards or something.
So you may actually hit it.
It looks like I nailed it.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like you got range and size mods. So
Oh, I didn't do the pop out on there, so -2, which will make it right
So,
dead
yeah.
even.
Yep. So you chuck
Donk.
this rock and it hits it. I have no idea how much a rock does. It's not going to get through its DR.
Probably not. Where did I put that? Damn it, I closed it.
It's like a rock, probably strength.
Just because I want to know. Thrust -2 per die, which is going to be 1d. 1d
Yeah,
-2.
that's not even going to get through its DR.
I'm going to roll it anyway.
Yep.
0.
Clonk. Warning. Under attack by hostile rocks.
All right. I have attacked it.
Just waiting for keeping an eye on Jorg.
It's like, where is he? What's he doing?
Is it following?
Picking up the bag.
Ugh.
It's heavy.
So Christoph's traps, you started poking around. You will probably, since you are there, you'll see those, like the probably the holes. You will probably deduce, yeah, these likely were spiky things, but they need to be triggered. I don't know where the okay. I see. Meta, they are probably like triggered over here, like there's a button or something. And simply based off of the way the thing is looks. Whoops.
Okay.
But you don't necessarily know where they're triggered, but it does not look like it's something that happens by people just walking over there.
It has to
Besides
be manually activated.
Yeah, and besides, it looks more like it's siege defense sort of thing.
All right. So I'm looking around. I see Emphas and the Rory and Queen. I'm like, where the hell's Soren?
Soren's probably still standing over there by the door. You might be able to see him.
Probably
Actually,
see
no,
him that he's yelling back at Jorg further in.
So I just yelled like, it looks like it's clear, guys. Do we want to leave or what?
Looks clear.
Yeah. He's the loner type, but he's not necessarily going to leave his people behind. So he's like, come on, hurry up. And he'll like take a step towards the threshold and tell him to hurry up. It'll be
Get
his turn.
stabbed by spikes because the GM lied. No, the GM didn't lie. Honest. Unless I'm lying now.
So, is it a trap-free environment?
As far as Christoph can tell.
Yeah, if you're asking me, he's like, I think these are manually activated. Looks to be clear.
Nope, no.
Only one way to find out.
That's probably not true. There are probably plenty of ways to find out.
Just out of interest, did you know you can use observation to substitute perception when noticing someone being stealthy?
I feel like we may have run across that
Don't
somewhere.
know if I've known that. I may have known that.
All right, I had a look at Dungeon Fantasy. If you're looking for stuff in a room, you can use scrounging if you're looking for things in particular, or say you're trying to find a rock in a room, you could use scrounging. If you're looking for things of interest, you use observation.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, you got to remember, Dungeon Fantasy change is not GURPS. It's based off of GURPS. They change. They make stuff a lot easier.
No, this is GURPS Dungeon Fantasy, not DFRPG.
But it's still the same. I mean, it's still not GURPS.
No, it is GURPS.
They change the way that some of the skills are used to simplify them.
DFRPG is a separate thing, but it's powered by GURPS. But it's still. But they're two different.
Yeah, you use search to loot a body, and then of course tracking or traps depending on what you're looking for there. Yeah, so to search an area, observation and scrounging.
Did it move, or
It did not.
does it sound like it was moving? So I guess I'm going to grab another rock.
It looks like it's recharging. Like it wants all of the ammo to shoot.
Yeah, CERN's just waiting. He'll be looking both ways through the door just to keep an eye on those that are in the other room, and then he'll be looking back to your.
And what's Queen Coppertop doing? Like, from my perspective.
She ran over and got her bag.
But
And
she
now
hasn't
she's-
really done anything for like a couple seconds.
No, she ran over, got the bag just now, and now she is moving in your direction. She just
Okay.
is very slow.
I'm like, what are you doing?
She got her bag.
Okay, no, okay, you're slow.
She'll be able to
115
move
pounds.
3 next round.
I know, right?
Okay. Oh man. We're like all separated, huh? George. Well, yeah, okay. So it looks like everybody's starting to come, so then Christoph's gonna start moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Anfis will equally continue his move.
Like, nope, 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 nope.
Finding hidden doors, you can use the highest of your vision, observation, or perception-based traps.
By the way, you should totally make Queenie roll dex to see if she fumbled the bag when she picked it up, because she's in a hurry.
You did see it like advance a single hex, but it looks like it is still mostly recharging its ammo.
Okay, but it's moving. I'm still just popping out, but now I've got a rock, so I'm going to chuck another rock. Range is
I want you to
gonna be about
roll a
the same.
3. I think that would be hysterical.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I was thinking it'd be really, really funny. It's like you roll a 3, and then on the critical hit thing, it's like 3 times normal damage.
I'm not sure that would be enough.
Well, what would that be? I mean, theoretically, max damage.
4?
3 times?
Oh, 12?
Yeah, that'd get through the DR.
Continue to move. And I'll stop at the door if it's closed. And
It is not.
Oh, it's not.
It looks like it's been smashed in.
I think I get to about there.
Yep. You can definitely feel the outside, the cold. You can, even though like I said, even though on the map there's something past that larger door, there really isn't in this case. That's actually outside, so you can see, lots and lots of white. In fact, I'll just go ahead and see. You're looking out over there. Almost back to a full charge. He might blast you.
I'll give him one last good insult and start making my way back. So I think it's committed now.
Okay, so looking at the spots, based off of everything there, there is, even if my golem turned around and started back up this way, I am fairly certain everybody can get out the door before it gets there.
Yeah.
So, for all intents and purposes, the combat is effectively over. The lot of you will be able to scramble out of the thing or the complex. The dwarf, or as you were going out there, eventually you will hear the automaton coming back or toward the door. And if you recall, when the orc went out, it took a couple blasts at the orc from basically like right here at the exit, but it did not proceed past there. So you will definitely not want to immediately stay in this area. Based off of the the image that I did share, where you're overlooking the Gray Mountains and such like that. This particular area, based off the terrain, it absolutely looks like a really big earthquake seems to have struck here some time back, and is very likely responsible for the various damage, because it looks like there was a route, an easy route down into the path, or it's a different path. It's not the one where you were nearly murdered, but great chunks of that have shifted and such like that. So it will end up requiring climbing to get down. From where you're at as well, you can see what looks like they were really big statues of dwarfs and Drory will identify them as the kings of this particular region. 2 of them have completely toppled over. The other 4 look, well, they don't look like they're in great shape. Time has not been kind to them at all. But to ensure that you are absolutely out of the thing's range and such like that, you will end up needing to do some climbing. And as you are looking, well, not completely out of its range, but to completely get clear, based off of the terrain from what you're seeing, I have the stuff here. I found that in, was it Dungeon Fantasy 16? There is going to be a steepness penalty of -2. It is about 100 yards down to the pass itself, and then they had the United We Climb thing, where you can have a single roll with the lead climber's skill at -1 per person who doesn't know climbing, and you apply the worst encumbrance level in the group, which is going to be -3. It will probably take about 2 hours to completely get down there, but extra time can be used in this case, and probably will.
Would that be 2 hours at combat speed?
No, climbing speed.
Yeah, I mean combat climbing speed. Is that full?
I didn't look at combat. I was just.
I mean, you said it was only 100 yards.
Yeah, that could be. I could be wrong. I was just thinking it was.
Yeah, I don't think it's 2 hours.
I do not know who has the highest climb.
I hesitate to say myself.
13. Soren has 13.
He may be the highest climb, unless Jorg is better than that.
I got
And,
12.
Got 2 12s and a 13.
And an 11 on Queen.
An 11, and Enfys might not have it.
I don't think I have it. Hang on.
I'm checking, and neither does Drory. Drory does not have it
No.
either.
So we got 2 minus. All right, we got one guy
Yep.
with a 13. We've got -2 and then -3 more for encumbrance.
Total of -7.
Yeah, total -7. We can get a +5 for going 30 times speed. For 100 yards, it's going to be 10 minutes
Normally?
normally.
Okay.
That's at regular speed. So, wait, no, that's 100 feet. That's going to be 30 minutes. So, 30 times, like,
900 minutes?
that may be a bit long.
Well, luckily it's not that. I mean, it's around noonish. So Enfys is like, woohoo, I got 8 points back.
Yay!
Woo, yeah, that's quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, that's 15 hours. I don't think we want to quite take that long. On the other hand, if we don't, we might die.
Just a
We
side
don't have
note.
climbing gear.
Yep.
For golems, if you want to identify certain things about golems and automata, you use the thaumatology skill.
Aha!
Yes, I'm super sad you guys didn't attack it, because it was going to be fun.
I did attack it.
Oh, I mean, real Daniel. So, I mean, where's it at? In the event that someone said, "Why don't we scrape the arm?" Those runes on the arm. You know what would have happened?
Uh-huh.
Good times.
Ow.
I was right.
But alas, we left it alone. So sad.
It
I
had a
am so-
cannon. Why would we be stupid enough to fight that?
I'm suddenly very glad that I took the rune lore and all that stuff at the last minute.
Good call.
Right.
Okay.
So,
How are we getting down this mountain?
looks like it's going to
All right.
take you about 15 hours.
Are we going to take all day to do it? I mean, I guess we can. We're not exactly on a schedule here.
True.
Since we're not on a schedule, I guess you can do the roll, and we take as much extra time as required to succeed.
Based off of before we do that's a good idea. With the United We Climb thing, it says single roll -1 for anybody who doesn't have climbing. Apply the worst encumbrance. Failure means somebody chosen at random suffers a fall from a random height, which is 60 yards, and then you determine how much the thing is. While a critical failure means the random target rolls or falls from a maximum height of 100 yards, which is pretty brutal.
Does anyone
So
have luck?
So I want
Yes, Queen
I
does.
want you to critically fail because I want to see that 9D +1 falling damage.
Well, we're going to... Whoever it was that had the highest is going to end up rolling off an 11. So chances are pretty good somebody's going to fall.
Kill us all, Soren. Kill us all.
Gladly. Let's rope ourselves together and stuff, so that
You have
we can.
rope?
Well,
Queen has rope. She will
That way-
contribute the rope.
that way we can use Queen's luck. Although that's a little bit meta.
Well, if it works, it works.
All right, so this will be at -2, right? So succeed by
Well,
3.
all right.
Well, so it becomes a succeed by 1.
Nobody fell. How anticlimactic.
That
The GM is sad.
He is. I'm super sad because a fail would have been fall from this height. 20 yards isn't that bad. I mean, it's not great.
Yeah, 20 yards is like 5 stories.
Did I not copy that? Ah, yeah, I did. Yeah, I totally
Oh.
copied that thing.
6 stories.
4D damage. Man.
Let's see, that's going to be an average of 20 points. Yeah, dead.
Okay, so I guess you didn't actually need any extra time.
No, that was with the extra time. So
Okay,
technically,
so-
that was... He made it by 1 point, so knocking that down would have been a times 15, so it would have been half that. 15
7
hours is going
hours?
to be 7.5 hours.
Okay, so that's going to be... Okay, it's definitely starting to get dark. Or it is dark by the time you get down to the bottom. It's one of those where it's like, you're like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. The sun's going down.
Good news! We don't have any camping gear.
That is also true.
From our elevation, were we able
Uh-huh.
to see any sort of smoke, lights, or anything like that?
That's a
Probably
good thought.
village buildings,
Give
houses.
me a vision-based perception check.
Actually, where are we compared to the battlefield?
Not near the
Probably
battlefield.
not that far off.
On the other side of something. So everybody can actually do the vision-based perception because that makes sense. I mean, you're going to be looking. It's like, where do we go from here? Yay, Jorg.
Would I be able to do maybe? I don't have a map, but like navigation, survival.
Yeah, I think so. You can use
I was thinking
navigation
of area
without.
knowledge.
You can use navigation without a map.
I think it's at a penalty.
Well,
the
I think at
map.
this tech level, it's technically orienteering. I'm not positive. I'm looking. Let's see. Navigation land. Yeah, it's called orienteering. Never mind. +3 if you have absolute direction or high tech substitute. -1 to -10 being in an unfamiliar area, and probably not. And equipment modifiers. There's no way. Maybe. Let me look at that.
Yeah, like basic equipment could be like a map or a sextant, compass, things like that.
Yeah, I thought a compass was required. But I
So
don't
no
know if
equipment
I'm
is
misremembering.
-10 for tech skills, -5 for other skills. Woo! Missing important items. Yeah, okay. Ooh, that'd be rough. So -5. What was the other crap that I was looking at?
Well, I guess it wouldn't make sense for that to be worse than a perception roll.
Well, in this case, it'd be like to identify roughly where you are in terms of the actual map. What the perception thing was just like, do we see anything that draws notice?
Still failed by 1 perception.
Okay. Let's see. We got Copper Tongue success by 2, Jorg success by 2. I guess we need. Well, that's probably. So Jorg and Copper Tongue will definitely note a bit of smoke rising up from it. Initially, just looked like part of the background, but then as you're looking, it actually looks like almost like a snow-covered tower, and it's like across the current pass that you're going to be climbing down to.
Interesting.
Where is that from, Giger?
DF16.
Have to remember that later. Okay, so is the plan? Once you spend most of the rest of the day climbing down. By the time you are on the ground, it is around well, you're not sure what time it is. The sun has gone down, so it's pretty dark.
Okay, I'm assuming we're going to need shelter for the night at least. Or the nearest thing to it.
Okay. Yep. You just have
Scout.
to avoid. Avoid climbing into a cave that has
Yeah,
dogs
let's
in
not
it.
do the cave thing again. Let's see if we can find somewhere we can not, die overnight.
All right.
All right.
So what
So
was
success
the
by 5
thing?
on survival.
Make a survival roll for the terrain type at default. Okay, before pitching camp, this is at -2 without group basics, so it'd be -2. So you still succeeded by 3. So there are those 3 options. There's comfort, concealment, and lines of sight. I suspect comfort may be one of the ones you're looking for, simply because, well, whew, everybody gets cold, wet, bitten by and is down one fatigue point or 2 fatigue points in Arctic or mountain terrain.
Yeah, let's do the comfort. I get 2.
And
We
you
get 2,
get
right?
one more, concealment or lines of sight.
Oh,
Concealment, maybe?
let's
Yeah,
see. We know we've got
concealment is -1 to their vision to detect you and a +1 to your camouflage roll in the quick contest. Lines of sight means you get a +1 to perception or observation rolls if they are trying to sneak forward, and they have a -1 to stealth.
Let's go ahead and do concealment. I think
And I have
line of
camouflage.
sight for people who don't have night vision is not going to amount to much.
Okay, yeah, so let's do the comfort and concealment.
Yep, I'm looking at the next part about shelters. Night suns. Okay, all survival skill. So, do you have to make another one?
I don't think so.
I'm not gonna have another one because it's like about at time. So you will spend some time basically generating a rudimentary shelter. You went with concealment and comfort, right?
We make an igloo.
And it's not comfortable, but it's just good enough that you figure, yeah, you'll probably be able to survive until tomorrow, and then we can move on from there. Since we are at time, we will go ahead and end it there. Everyone will get the 1 character point.
Yay, points.
Ronki is AFK, so this will be interesting if we end while he is still AFK. Oh, he's not AFK anyway. All right. So, if you are watching or listening to this and you have comments, questions, complaints, or general heckling, feel free to leave a comment here or find us at Discord. Please consider liking and subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels, or don't. I'm not your dad. Anyway, thank you for watching, and Olympus signs out.
See ya.
Good night.
Bye. Ciao.